What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Global Speedrun Association for yet another 70-star Division 2 race, this time between Tama and SuperViper. I'm Electric, and I'm joined in the booth today by D Whatever. How are you feeling before this race? I think it'll be a good one.
For sure, I'm actually excited to see Tama play as well as SuperViper, of course. Tama, the kind of person to go for crazy strats whenever, and SuperViper more on the consistent side, I would say. Yeah, here we already see the standings. SuperViper is doing really well. I would say because of those consistent plays, pretty much. And Tama on 11th spot, not doing too well, if I might say so.
Yeah, he's looking for a win here. It won't really change the standings regardless, but could certainly give him a little bit of a confidence boost after a kind of rough early string of races, but we'll see how it plays out. And both of them making sure their files are clear, everything else, and we'll be getting started in a moment.
And just like that, we're already off. I was a little bit scared because Tama's timer was not right at all. Was around 40 seconds or something, but we good. Both on the US version, of course, saving those 3 seconds over Japanese. Glad I finally got that down, because I always used to think it was only like 1 or 2, but it's actually like 3 seconds. More significant than you would think.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't really expect it until you actually try running on both versions and you realize just how much slower the Japanese text scrolling is. Like it does make a pretty decent difference.
And as well, like, when you switch back to Japanese from US, it actually feels so weird to skip the text. It's like so much slower and harder to hit those, I don't know, perfect scrolls, I guess.
Yeah, it's like every text box becomes the Wiggler text box. It feels like it has lag to it or something.
Exactly. And off we go, onto Lucky to skip and both nailing it, no problem. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, Tama with just a few frames of a lead due to that advanced setup compared to SuperViper's easier setup.
But
they're going
right
in
behind
for
him. Let's see how that goes. That's the kind of stuff you want to get out of the way without any issues. It's like, it's actually really scary to approach this in a race, because you can mess up bomb clip fairly easily, I would say. Ooh, and Viper not being able to grab the bomb, and Tama getting it blown up.
Yeah, and it's like Tama ultimately made less mistakes there, but his one mistake cost so much more time.
And still goes for the backflip bomb clip. Let's go, Tama. That was a weird angle going for that, but he still pulled it off. Doesn't really save that much, it's only around 0.5 seconds. So, half a second. Still going for it though, it's crazy.
Yeah, it feels so fluid whenever you get it. Like you just go right from the clip into the star grab, and it's so clean.
It just feels super nice too. It's a 6 strat, and I'm saying a 0.7 from SuperViper and a 0.8 from Tama.
I'll flip that. 0.8 Viper, 0.7 Tama. So hopefully one of us is right, and a 13 flat from Viper.
All right. See that 0.8, please.
0.7. Thank you, Tama.
I might have a better chance next time. There's still one more to go. But yeah, it's good to note that slide before warms is actually also faster, 1 second. So as a runner in a race, you always want to go for it. It's just like a 3 second because of castle movement.
Yeah, and I feel like the castle movement is a little bit easier going to the slide from BOB instead of to womps from BOB.
I actually used to think that going to warms is a little bit easier, but because you have to sort of get that top right notch for the long jump wall kick. Alright, a little bit of trouble getting up there. But no problem on all this.
Very nice, Alice. I think that may have been Firsty, and the compensation earlier is what got that to him. Not quite sure, because he went pretty far away from the cage, but still getting it nice and clean first try, as Tama goes through cannonless, doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
I think when first you can't get Alice at all, as far as I'm concerned. You always are way too far away from the cage, so that might have been like a second frame. Still gives you quite some speed, I guess, away from the cage.
It's been some time since I watched it, but I believe the Simp Alice tutorial vid shows him getting it with a firstie, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay. Okay, then better not spread misinformation, I'm not too sure either, but both runners making the cycle work on 100 coins here. At least, okay, Tama's good as well. Almost spoke too soon. He's got it down too.
Very nice cycles from both of these players. You have to have very, very clean movement throughout the first half of the stage to make this work.
Oh, so Fantastic just coming in there saying it is possible for first Tama. Okay, nice backup. So Owless is possible for first C. Thank you, Fantastic. I actually didn't know that. I should watch that tutorial.
Yeah, it's only if you cut your momentum on the first 2 jumps. Like, you have to be holding kind of an up left. It's a little hard to explain. The video does a great job of it, but it gives you so little forwards momentum that even with a first E, you can still get in the cage.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think it might affect your ability to get it with a 3rd frame, but I mean, it's easier to hit a 1st frame reliably than a 3rd frame.
Yeah, for sure.
So Viper, interestingly... Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, but yeah, hitting that cannonless. Tama, meanwhile, hitting the plant. I was just gonna say that sometimes you're just not ready for the first year, I feel like, and then you might be too far away from the cage, but yeah. If you got it down, I guess, then that's good, like getting Owls with a first tee. Doesn't seem too easy to me, but gotta get those sim strats in there. And now, of course, Wild Blue. Kind of a free start, if you ask me. It's not really much going on.
Oh yeah, once you practice the side flip a few times, it's just free. There's nothing that can really go wrong. I think I may have seen like 1 or 2 people try to side flip too far forward and getting bopped down by the edge of the platform, but it's very rare.
Yeah, that can definitely happen as well. And maybe even if you can't see how far you're away from the wall, you're just not gonna get the wall kick. But that's really one of the worst things that can happen. You might die in the beginning, but that's also just as rare as runners messing up the wall kicks.
And it's really only if you're going for the super optimal tree grab and dive. And kind of an interesting start order we've seen from these 2 runners. It's not often that you see people separate Cannonless and Owless. It's either they go right into 100 coin or right into those 2 together. Never really the split like we've seen with both these guys here.
And one even opted for Cannonless first and the other one for Owless as well, so... It's definitely interesting to see. I've seen, like, watching these races, I've seen a lot of different stars in various stages. I think a good one also is Lethal Island, where everyone just does whatever star they want, because you can just do whatever. It's like no restriction. You don't have to spawn the tower like you do in Worms, for example. So you always have to do the tower star last, unless you want to do owl full, so not owlless. Because the owl spawns after you've gotten the fortress star.
I've always thought that was pretty weird how you couldn't like do a later star like Wild Blue and select that and have the owl spawn. Tama with a side flip way too far from the door, but you see Super Viper carving a pretty decent early lead out of Womps. I'm gonna go ahead and say Viper improves to a 12-9. Tama holding steady with a 12-7.
I'll say a double 0.7. Oh, that doesn't look like a 0.7 from Viper though. Ooh, a 12.9.
Viper. Let's see, I think it's a 7. There it is.
At least one, right? Alright, and into wing cap now. Flying is hard. Let's just get that out of the way. You grab so much speed, especially in this stage, you grab a lot of speed in the beginning, and you want to grab those first 2 reds. And it's so easy to miss one of them, or even 2. But Viper, no problem there. Has full control. See, Tama as well. Nice. Because missing those first 2 reds is actually like 4 seconds lost. So I definitely want to grab those right away.
It's especially bad, like, as a newer player, if you ever accidentally miss the second pair, because, like, you only pretty much have one chance to grab them again before Mario just dips too low.
Yeah, it's actually, if that happens, I often panic, because, as I said, you just drop lower and lower, and at some point you just can't get them anymore. It's like no backup for it. But unfortunately, it's a lot easier. Fortunately, it's a lot easier to grab those 2 than the first 2 reds. So yeah, you can miss them too much, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess it's just the speed reduction from ascending. It kind of helps you target them a little bit better. Oh, Tama missing the switch here. Viper already getting a cleaner start to Dark World.
Might still be able to grab Shake Cycle. I'm not sure how he's gonna grab these first elevators though, which are really important for still being able to get Shake Cycle. Ooh, tries to
Okay.
go below the elevator. Wow, okay.
Wow.
That was so close. He might have not even really saved time with it over doing the double jump. But he should still be in for Chick Cycle if he gets this. It's looking good and nice.
Wow, barely nabbing that coin. That was really clutch.
Exactly, and you saw him go for the double long jumps there just to make sure he doesn't fall off because he was so far away from that platform where he was Super Viper single jump to.
So,
But yeah, very nice. Very
Tama
nice
had that opportunity to lose a little bit of time, but ultimately holding right next to Super Viper still.
Super close race. That's what I like to see. Ooh, but Viper missing the throw. A little bit of an opportunity to catch up for Tama. That should be good. Nice.
Now let's see the difference here on fade out.
Grabbing low 10s. That's pretty good for a race, I would say. 10:08 for Super Viper and 10:11 for Tama. So 3 seconds out of Dark World. And those are two really good Dark World times as well. Like in Division 1 you might see sub 10s, but even then, not everyone gets sub 10 Dark World times.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be playing very well to manage to snag that, and it's there's very few people that can do that consistently.
Exactly, with Worms being the first stage and Tama with the sick movement. Nice.
That sliding strat is so beautiful.
I love it too. It looks so sick.
I think this is like one of the only places you really get to use it in 70. Like in SL Red or SSL Reds, you get to use it, but that's only in 120.
Exactly, there's not much where you can use the slide like that, and it actually paying off too. But yeah, I was actually scared for Tama there on the sky jump. He was so close to missing that triple jump. It was like right on the edge of that cannon. Yeah, I was also gonna say that with Worms in the beginning, runners usually mess that up, and these two had a really decent Worms. Like, there weren't really any big mistakes at all. Nothing that I can think of, honestly.
I think Tama's biggest mistake was accidentally hitting that Piranha Plant, and we got Viper going in on the beginner movement for wall kicks will work. Very rare to see that. It's honestly been pretty well obsoleted by the advanced movement, especially if you mash for the wall kick. It's still a second faster, even though you have to do the backup movement after.
And we just see that kind of strat in Division 1 as well. Benji, I believe, is one of those who goes for it. And it pays off, like, he's saving that second over Super Viper. And I don't know, honestly, I think the rollout is so weird to land. Oh, well, after the rollout, all the navigating you have to do. And Tama with a nice, almost
slides
almost
right
nice.
past. Oh, man. And he had so little momentum, he didn't even have a chance to go for that backup on that slope over there.
Yeah, that's so sad. He held back so hard because he thought he could still land on that platform by well. Almost saved time over Super Viper. Yeah.
We got Viper going in on CCM 17. Notably does not like the Penguin race. Tama as well. More than likely, we're going to be seeing an HMC early from Viper, I believe. I don't think he goes for double plus. I could be wrong, though. But Tama, you know, he's inflicted the rage of Tama plus on the rest of the Mario community. So we're going to be seeing 2 of those from him for sure.
As made sure to preserve like all the Tama pluses that work just for him for this one race.
He's got a box of all the good Tama pluses. There's a finite number. It's not infinite. There will be a day where nobody can achieve a Tama plus anymore.
I hope that day will never come because I still want runs out of SSL if I'm honest. And this slide is looking really good, by the way. You can only miss around 1 coin with the amount of coins that both runners went in with. Very nice. No missed coins. And yeah, Tama right behind Super Viper. Still, not really changing at all. The kind of lead.
Yeah, I mean, even a little slip up on like that wall kick to get up to Big Boo could very easily shift this lead. It's very close.
Just none of them giving in. And yeah, Big Edge, I mean, I would say there's probably not going to be any big slip ups, but might be talking too soon.
I mean, if either of them goes for that side flip wall kick strat to get up to Big Boo's balcony, that can be a little bit of a troublesome strat sometimes because you have such a narrow little bit of a space to wall kick off of, and the camera is not cooperative.
Oh yeah, for sure. And sometimes you also manage to fall down as well. And Viper going for the bouquet stuff first. Also get this out of the way. Not falling down. Very nice. Meanwhile, Tama opting for the boo first. That's what I like to get out of the way as well. That's my first star. Same
here. Just because, like, if something bad oh boy. Okay, Tama went through the right door. It shouldn't make that big of a difference, but...
It's so... In Discord, I couldn't even see the wall of the, of the balcony, mansion, sorry. You can bonk there. If your TV is, like, too dark, you can't see the side of the mansion, and you just long jump against it very easily. So, and I couldn't see anything. I was scared Tama was actually gonna bonk, but it's probably not too bad on his TV.
And same here. Fortunately, on those older CRTs, you can crank the brightness up pretty high.
God bless those CRTs, and that was an interesting camera from Tama. But yeah, still with I would say around the same lead out of BB8.
Yeah, no real mistakes. They pretty well went for the same strats and landed them about the same, but now we're moving towards SSL, where we could definitely see a little bit of a lead change.
Definitely does. So, I mean, plus pillarless. It's coming up, one of the hardest tricks in the whole game, and these runners both have to do it twice, unless SuperViperT decides to go for HMC early, which I'm not sure about. I think I've seen him do double plus, but I might be mistaken.
It's weird. I can distinctly remember him saying he hates the penguin race, but I can't really remember whether he does double plus or HMC early to compensate.
Well, I just have to see here what he decides to do. Either way, has definitely gotta hit one, at least. One pillarless. And that's a big bomb, that's looking good. Not going for the Tama plus, a little bit safer. All the setup, and that is looking good. And Tama, on the other hand, saving a lot of time there. Almost caught up now.
Very, very clean. Just, and Viper confirming he's going to be doing double plus here. Very nice.
I like to go for the... Yeah, I was going to go for that star as well, always first. In case you don't hit the second plus, you can still opt out of it and you don't lose more time due to doing a longer star like SuperViper did.
We'll see if Tama can go 2 for 2 here.
That's looking really good. And that's so almost clean. Didn't land the ground pound, unfortunate, but everything else was super nice.
It's just the very ending that seems to be giving Tama trouble. Viper, meanwhile, can't seem to get through the hill, but he's over now. He's got the double jump through. And he's in there. All right.
No plus stats on double plus. That's what I like to see. No mistakes.
Virtually sync, though, just because of Viper's slight sloppiness and him using the more traditional plus setup.
Exactly. And just to answer the question in chat, this is pre-recorded. But yeah, as always, the commentary is live. We've not seen the results. And ooh, Tama, okay. That was a scary way to go up the pillar.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anyone go that far right to the point they go on the other wall.
Still so close. Slightly changed, of course, but still. SuperViper is definitely still in this.
I mean, they're less than a second apart, it looks like. This is wild.
Yeah, just one small slip up and that's it. The lead will switch over to SuperViper. But
Viper grabbing the cage. Oh boy, that's going to be a pretty big speed loss and lose just a couple of seconds, but with this close of a race, it feels like so much more.
Definitely. I was going to say, if he messes up, then of course the lead won't change. Yeah. Still not too bad. There's definitely stuff that can go wrong where, I don't know, maybe a death on Lava Boost, for example, can just switch it.
And we got Viper going for a slightly more traditional order where he uses the text box up on one of these free stars.
Okay.
Very, very nice.
That one just going for a Pro Boost, right?
I think so. That may have been the unnamed boost that we haven't been able to quite figure out what it's supposed to be called.
Okay, I still haven't done my research on what's called what Lava Boost, but That is not easy to pull off, I would say. One of the harder setups, for sure.
Yeah, any setup going from that side of the rock is very, very precise.
Yeah, you can see Super Viper going for the triple jump strat, actually. I thought he was gonna go for the easier long jump strat, but gets a lot of height, and he should be good.
It's the triple jump versus long jump is pretty much a pick your poison. Whether you want the like height to give you a little bit of trouble sometimes, or if you want the initial jump to give you a little bit of trouble. For me personally, like I just don't get the alignment and the timing for that triple jump. It just doesn't quite make sense to me. Oh, and Viper not quite getting enough height on his double jump there, so not able to clear the gap with that rollout.
Yeah, I always thought that, I don't know, the triple jump lava boost is so hard to hit just because you have to land on that tiny rock. When I switched over from triple jump to long jump, the easier long jump strat, and I thought that was a lot easier when I was a beginner, like the free long jump strat over the triple jump strat.
Just Fetus, like I used to think that was called Akira, but when I looked up on the wiki, what the wiki claims Akira is completely different. Unless I just missaw what Tama did.
Tama went to the right, so he got a little bit more height than going to the left first, after the first boost. Either way, though, they both managed to not die on lava boost, which is a plus for me. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's all you really want. You don't want to be like me and have to try to PB with a 7th try lava boost.
Ouch, that's a lot of lava boost attempts.
It was pretty shameful. I was hurting.
That just means you have more time save in the next run, so...
It's true. That's where my current PB is at with the TTC. I have 2 minutes in Tippy, so as long as I'm not 2 minutes behind, it's still savable. Thank you so much, Casey Kasayev. I'm sorry, I can't see the name super clearly from here. Thank you so much for the sub.
Kasayev, but yeah, thank you for the sub, for sure. Great emotes, of course, and if you want to support us, just, I don't know, it's September, by the way.
Yeah, this first time that was only 250.
That was the worst plug I've ever done, and I apologize. But yeah, Tama still with that lead out of Lethal Lava Land into DDD. So both runners doing that HMC late, which saves a second, and you can do Fire Sea and Upstairs earlier, which is probably the bigger plus from speaking for myself. Like being able to do Fire Sea before HMC.
Plus, you only have to worry about 50-star MIPS instead of something like SL Reds or Toxic Maze. So it takes just a little bit of the performance pressure off, I'd say.
Exactly. And unless you miss MIPS, then you start to panic.
Yep.
But that luckily doesn't happen too often.
Okay, so we've got some pretty nice chests from Tama. Let's see how Super Viper matches up.
Ooh, kind of a bad turn there, but doesn't lose too much. You can, of course, save. Ooh, that's a misswim though. That's a lot worse because you lose all your speed and it takes a bit until you're full speed again. But yeah, getting worse turns or bad turns on swing is not too bad. You don't lose too much. But you also can save a fair amount as well. Nothing risky involved. Just missing swims is what you need to look out for.
Yeah, and the way that you have to hit the chest optimally, like the hitbox is so weird. Like it's weird seeing runners hit like the very back corner of a chest and still have it open. And Tama with the side sub strats, okay. Hey. Let's go.
You don't see that anyone else. No one does this.
It's still slower than front sub, right?
Yeah, it is, and I would say it might even be just as hard as front sub, honestly.
It's such a weird angle that you have to go for on the jump there to make sure that Mario doesn't just immediately slide down. Let's see, our good friend the Manta supports Tama in his mission to win this race. Let's see about Viper's side.
Still going strong. Yeah, these rings can be a hassle. If you miss the first one, it's already pretty bad because the first 5 rings are sort of normal, I would say, in terms of their hitbox. But then afterwards, they just get wanky and it just gets harder to hit the more you progress. And Tama getting a first burn can take 2 easy burns and grab the first red that way. But that's already the lava boost earlier, at least for him. Probably can't get it anymore.
Really unfortunate to see that first little bit of movement is a little bit underrated. There's just so much difficulty here. I definitely feel like it's the hardest Bowser stage with Reds. At least in 70. Bits with Reds is very, very difficult.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like... I think all of them are fairly hard in their own right. If you... I mean, I'm also thinking about Tsukishima cycle and Dark World, for example, which is the hardest cycle. It's also pretty hard, but I think I'm the only one who does it around, so it's not fair to mention that as an argument, I feel like. And Viper also not getting lava boost earlier, so we're almost diving off, okay. That was a scary jump dive. And not even... Oh, can you still get this? I think you can still grab this. Nice. Barely grabbing early, at least.
Tama getting a ground pound instead of a long jump, having to take a lot of time on this ending. Doesn't want to change his camera. I mean, I guess I can sympathize, but when you've already had trouble with something like that, you just kind of have to take the easy road at some point.
I mean, then he just went for a jump kick, so probably learned his lessons there. Not gonna try another long jump.
And so now we've got Tama in the Bowser fight. Nice box rollout from Super Viper there.
Scariest Bowser throw in the world, because if you miss it, you lose free 20 seconds. Even if you don't grab that much speed, like in terms of spinning, it's still sort of hard to hit sometimes.
Yeah, and it can actually be hard to spin Bowser into the bomb on like your second attempt, because the bomb is a fair distance away from the arena.
Yeah, that's true. If you're like just a little bit too far off the left or right, and it looks like you're gonna hit, but then Bowser just falls off anyways.
Fortunately, no issues with either of our runners today, as they're going to be headed right upstairs into the wettest or driest world, depending on your perspective. I guess that's the true test of an optimist versus a pessimist. Is wet, dry world half full or half song?
And the lead didn't change too much, I would say. It's still, well, fairly close. 15 seconds now. Definitely Tama making up some decent time.
Tama, interestingly, not going for that triple jump awning wall kick. Kind of a smart move. It's a very precise trick, but with some of the other stuff we've seen, I'm a little bit surprised.
I'm also surprised that he decides to go for that stuff first if he doesn't even do the triple jump wall kick, because Without 100, as Viper does, is also a really hard style. There's so much RNG in this, and you can only miss one coin, otherwise you would need to go for a backup box, which is sort of on the way, but yeah, it still loses time going for it.
And it makes the ending of the star a little bit more awkward if you have to go for it. And Viper attempting the double-double, but not quite getting it. Okay, Tama playing things a little bit risky. This is a very rare situation, but if you end up missing at least one or two of the blues on that blue coin switch, you'll end up actually just wanting to go ahead and do shocking arrow lifts as your backup there. But it's such a rare situation. I can understand Tama not really thinking of that for his reasoning on the star order, but still kind of interesting.
Definitely might be a little bit too confident, so hopefully does not miss any blues. Swiper is having a really nice without 100. No big mistakes. Can just, as I say that, of course, just falls down immediately. He didn't need to grab that one coin that flew away. He was good. This is a almost nice back.
Ledge grabs off the slope there. Oh no.
That should have worked. He was so close to grabbing the right side of that platform.
Very, very clean backup, though. I mean, it's going to be slow either way, but he executed that very, very well.
That's true. It's not easy to hit that triple jump. You have to sort of, I don't know, hold back or reduce your speed to Tama.
Getting the mega bonk off this staircase.
Oh, I'm still having trouble getting up here. Ledge grabbing.
Does he have the time? They're not blinking yet. Okay. Still got up there pretty free.
That was quite some time lost there.
What Joy World really taking no prisoners today.
Still. Okay, I feel like this actually evens out the mistake from Super Viper falling down.
And nice triple awning jump from Viper.
Making up some decent time over Tama on that star. Oh, and to top it all off, Tama also getting zapped.
Yeah, that amp sniped him. I thought he'd be just outside of its range, but amps proving that their range extends probably about as far as some coins.
But it looks like definitely Tama should still be in the lead.
Ooh, very, very nice triple jump from the staircase for Super Viper.
Was about to say the same, that was quite clean. And let's see how Tama handles the star. Not going for the triple jump walk kick again, of course. I mean, if you don't do it for the other one, then this one is even less worth it after all as well.
And Viper really is not that far behind. Tama collecting his last star, and Viper's got a pretty quick one for his last.
Yeah, 30, 25, and it's like 10 seconds, I believe. 10, 11 seconds behind. Yeah, something between that. Definitely caught up in that with Rowell. It's kind of insane because Viper had quite the big fall, and Tama didn't fall off, but he had a lot of issues in Wet Round 100. So,
you know, Tama having plenty of issues with the second secret here. I was about to say, like, THI secrets could very easily change that lead right back over, should it go very poorly. Viper already getting a better start. No lag reduction, interestingly.
But very nice triple jump and no issues on the second secret. So, making up some more time, for sure.
Very, very nice.
And let's see, I'm pretty sure Tama also goes for a mountain clip. So, can I guide to do it? Yep. That should be nice. That's what I like to say. I was waiting for it, so.
Yeah, very, very clean from Tama. Spending just about no time in that water. Viper just not even opting for it. Certainly understandable. It's very difficult to do optimally.
Also, sort of a scary angle there, going up the mountain. He almost slid off the right side. Fortunately, that didn't happen. No time lost.
Now for some piranha plucking. Pretty much the most boring star in the run. You just gotta wait for these piranhas to decide to spawn.
Is it really the most boring star? There has to be another one.
I mean, it's THI. Like, it's free to hate on it, so...
Of course, the electric THI hate coming out as usual.
Look, man, I'm just echoing the opinions of many other prominent members of the community. It's not a great stage.
I actually like it, so... But either way, into TTM.
Yeah, much better stage. I think we can both agree on that. TTM, definitely better than THI.
Yeah, I really, really like TTM. There's a lot of cool movement in this stage for sure.
It's like your first taste of Tippy-style difficulty. Like, there are a lot of very precise jumps, a lot of opportunities to fall and lose tons of time, but whenever you get everything right, it's so rewarding, so clean, so fluid feeling.
Yeah, speaking of which, Tama for Thirsty, handling it really well as well, grabbing all that speed and not messing up the triple jump afterwards.
And a single wall kick for Waterfall. Viper with a very, very nice log wall kick.
Definitely. And meanwhile, Viper did get a ledge grab there, so Tama saved a little bit of time skipping that ledge grab after the log wall kick. It's actually scary trying to get a Thirsty there, or I don't know if he wanted to, but you can easily fall down doing this log wall kick. Well, it gets another one, but a little bit worse than before, but still. Wow.
We got Viper having to swim around a little bit out of bounds. Oh, Tama having troubles with the side flip. Finally able to get his ledge grab there. Oh, gets a very, very low triple jump.
It's nice to see they're both going for the same starter, so we can see how much Viper is like sort of catching up on Tama's small mistakes. But now let's see
for next here.
I think it's Team Reds. Yes, I almost fell in the water there. Meanwhile, Viper opting for the box jump first. Let's see.
Once you're done with the log wall kicks, I definitely feel like the mushroom star first is the better alternative. Ooh, a nice side flip wall kick from Tama.
Beautiful. And
but like
the stars one.
That first Goomba that's pretty far to the left, like depending on how exactly he spawns, sometimes he's right in your way on the movement going towards the mushroom. So I feel like it's easier to like recover and do reds instead if that Goomba hits you than it is to try to continue and kind of YOLO the lineup for the box.
Definitely agree. That getting that angle. Ooh, Tama actually having to go for the safer lineup because he messed up the camera or the grab. And gets it done with the wall bounce, no problem. Meanwhile, Tama also having decent reds, but not as clean as Tama's. Oh, did I say Tama twice? Viper. Viper not getting as clean reds as Tama. That's what I meant to say.
Tama versus Super Tama. And Breezeless is good from Tama. Nice.
Wow. But Viper also going for it. Let's see if he can get this.
Oh, no wall kick.
Not getting the wall kick, yeah.
I figured he was a little bit too low as well.
Might have been the angle as well, or just not holding back, but definitely sad to see. I was ready to see the double breezeless.
It's always a treat whenever it happens, especially in D2 where you're not quite expecting it as much.
Exactly. And into SL.
Tama having some issues with deep freeze.
Was already a backup after messing up the beginning, so Viper can make up some good time by just landing this right now. And
he's got it. Just has to grab the star. Very, very nice.
No problem. Alright, now Tama doesn't have deep freeze as a backup anymore. Has to get up here or do the freezing prawn star. And does he actually go for the...
What? Oh my god!
Okay, Tama. I see
doing?
you. That's insane, dude.
That is...
Again.
That is ridiculous. If you've never tried walking on top of like a thwomp's head, like the penguin head is like 5 times worse. Wow. I can't believe he landed that. That is incredible.
Yeah, you walk for just a few frames and you could already easily fall off the penguin. And you have so much speed from those wall kicks. It's just so easy to fall off and he still manages to get that side flip. Let's go, Tama.
That is just incredible. How much does that even save over the normal slide wall kick?
It only saves around a second. Maybe to a second and a half. But that's it.
Tama goes big or goes home. That is for sure.
Pretty much. I wonder if he's still like... I remember he used to do this in runs and get it fairly consistent as well. This dude's insane.
Honestly, I mean, wow.
Yeah, we might actually see Tama's first win if he keeps up playing like this.
He's pretty well maintained that lead since SSL.
For sure, it didn't change much, but it also didn't... Yeah, it didn't change much, so it didn't get any worse. Looking in Tama's favor, pretty much.
Just needs to pull off these last 3 stages very, very clean to ensure that victory.
Oh, that's not a good... good mid-scale though, and Viper might actually be back if Tama doesn't get this mid-grab.
Oh, just barely out of the range of the dive. No! Not to the rabbit!
No, not again! Oh! Going around the same wall.
He's just slightly ahead or slightly behind. It's not working. He has to go for the safe grab here. Okay. Viper already moving into HMC. Oh, man. Oh.
So can't believe that happened, dude. And so many misses as well. So much trouble getting that first grab. Ran around the pillar like a million times. So
trying to get a backup grab is like exponentially harder than the first grab. Like it just, and you could see initially, like it his angle on the approach, his speed, like it didn't quite look right. I'm not sure why, but it just wasn't quite gonna work for him.
Yeah, exactly. And then I always like to just lure him to the left where Tama went at the end, because there you can actually get a really nice backup grab. Yeah, Tama wanted the fast one the first 2 turns. Unfortunate. Didn't get it though.
Now, while these guys are working through HMC, chat unintentionally bringing up a interesting point. Can it really be a commentator's curse when this race is pre-recorded? I mean, does our commentary somehow enter a parallel universe and pull out the version of the race that goes badly according to what we say?
It definitely feels like it. Oh, but
Tama with
no!
the scuttlebug kill! Oh no!
Oh my god, that was so unlucky. I've never seen anything as unlucky as that.
There's nothing worse in this game than taking a bonk that forces you backwards into a death, because you're just sitting there for 5 seconds just hoping beyond hope that something good will happen, that you won't fall off the ledge, but you have no control whatsoever. It's the worst sinking feeling in the world, I feel like.
And with those 2 mistakes, the MIPS and that death, Viper's actually grabbing a decent lead into Tippy. Wow.
That is so unfortunate. Tama was playing so strong, and just, I mean, this stage, it's not free, but it should be a little bit of a reprieve before the hexscape that is Tippy.
Definitely. I don't think that anyone ever really expects to lose that much time in this stage. It's usually quite the free stage, I would say. But Tama sort of proving us wrong. Still has 1 more start to go as Viper already heads into the Tippy top. What a race, but it's not over yet. There's still a lot that can go wrong in the upcoming stages.
Oh, yeah.
Viper is definitely not safe.
I mean, just a glitchy bonk off the rotating platform could cut his lead like by a third or so.
And that's like the first thing that can easily happen. And remember, right, you enter it and then you die immediately. So let's see how Viper handles the stage.
Mario Cam, kind of an interesting start here. I guess that might make the triple easier for him. Haven't seen that around before.
Well,
getting dropped into oblivion by Lakitu. Just barely too far towards the wooden platform. Like that was...
my god. Yeah,
it's so rare to see him bop you like that. You either miss him or hit him. That range in between is so tiny.
And Tama's almost back in this. And now he can't get another lucky to bounce because he ledge grabbed. But yeah, I was just gonna mention that I like to go for that Mario Cam as well. It feels like it makes it easier, but I don't think there's much of a difference. It just comes down to preference, I feel like. What you feel more safe with. Wait, also missing the red at the end. Tama has such a good chance of actually catching up, gets his first bounce right away.
Very, very nice using that corner to help him get a double jump easier. Gets the ledge grab here. He's got that backup with a side flip dive.
And Viper had so much trouble with the red coins too. Not even like getting a massive fall, but missing like the last red and then also missing the star at the end as well.
Yeah, reds can be such a huge time loss here, even though you don't make like any significant mistake. It's just if every single thing goes wrong, you're losing a good 10 plus seconds. Doesn't get the...
God. Oh my god, and Tama! Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Let's see how Tama backs this up with the plate.
Oh my god, Viper!
What?
All this is happening, dude. This is too much at once. And now Tama has to land his backup. Alright, he's good at least.
Okay.
Too much going on now. Viper gonna try that lucky bounce again.
Yeah, let's see if he's able to get the wall kick this time. Okay. He's got the bounce.
Okay,
Oh, it just was a little too low on the platform.
Let's see if can. This should be good. This should be a very good angle. He's
Oh.
not grabbing enough speed. What? But gets the wall kick back up. Nice.
Yeah, that's so hard to get if you end up having to take a bonk there.
Yeah, so much. Tippy is just being brutal to Viper right now. Tama
they
is
haven't
starting
even
off-
gotten in the clock yet. This is... Oh, man.
Tama is just pulling ahead so much now. And Viper again has to land this lucky bounce still. Does not want to opt out of it.
Oh, I think he just waited too long on his double jump there.
What? He's just gonna try again? Okay.
How? What?
I don't
feel like
even know this. He can't even get the double jump, but does this work? I have no idea. It does actually work. Okay.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen a lucky bounce back up like that ever before as well.
That was like third or fourth approach or something. What?
Okay, Viper has figured out how Lucky works, dude. He just knew how he moves and knew it works, I guess.
Like he's wired into his N64. He's got the code that handles Lakitu's movement like directly hooked into his brain.
It's like Lucky is always moving in the same direction, so sort of a cycle, I guess. But still, hitting him at the right time like that seems impossible to me, if I'm honest.
Like it makes an already hard trick like astronomically more difficult.
Oh my god, Tama just thought he was dead, like...
I knew exactly what he was scared of. Like that blue coin switch is like so underrated, the way you have to hit it. Because if you hit it too early, you can also get like a reverse bonk that sends you flying the same direction. Like it's so dumb.
Exactly, yes. That blue coin switch has cost many deaths in dead runs. Staying a little bit too far off.
Getting through the end here. Viper with a nice triple jump wall kick there.
Okay, the RNG for Tama behaving very nicely. Those 2 coins just flew away, but just landed on the platform, did not fall down any further.
And he's got the star in his hands. Very nice.
Viper having a much cleaner beginning, so he's definitely catching up a little bit. Tama not getting the optimal ending, but not bad. Oh, but now the RNG not behaving for Viper.
You're having to wait around for those last 2 coins before continuing on.
Ooh, that was a nice speed kick.
Oh, gets the invis wall. Oh, is he going to be able to recover this? Let's see. Okay.
Oh, nice backup. Dude, the backups have been insane from SuperViper this race.
I mean, the only thing more important than having really good standard movement is being able to accomplish backups on the fly like this.
And it's, yeah, really important. It's like something not every runner is able to do. Some runners just, it's easy to land in a Mario Meltdown when you just kind of don't know what to do and you mess up every single angle and it just gets worse and worse. Definitely gotta be ready.
So we got these time-moving triple jump wall kicks now. Starting off on Tama's side. Misses the star just by a little bit.
And now the infamous starting off with get a hand on the moving stars.
Honestly, I feel like, especially if you have a little bit of trouble being consistent with the time-moving triple, I feel like get a hand is the ideal solution, because the left side movement for every star is a bit awkward, but for get a hand, it's very awkward.
Yeah, that's true as well. And I also think he mentioned, like, in case he messes up the turbo jump in the beginning, it's faster to back up the other stars than get a hand. I feel like I think that was his reasoning for always going for get a hand first. But yeah, Tama already done. Only has to grab 2 more stars. Moving bars and reds.
Very clean triple off those yellow blocks.
And double jump as well.
Oh man. Reminding you of someone's gameplay?
If you're speaking of mine, then maybe. And yeah, we see Viper now. Viper with the second side flip, so that's kind of what Tama saved there with the double jump, in case you're not familiar with that. And Viper also having trouble to get into the cage. Alright. That is something I did not expect.
Well, shoutouts to Select for the tier 1 sub.
We've actually had a couple, so shoutouts to all the subs at this point. Thank you guys. But as I was saying, the messing up moving bars at the end is not something you see very often. I feel like it's rather the beginning where people die sometimes.
And so now Tama leaving the clock Heading over to everyone's favorite toadstool-headed minion.
As Viper is gonna grab the TTC Red Star, and then also gonna grab the same star from the Toadstool minion.
And let's see how Tama's Bits goes. This is his race to lose at the moment, but hopefully we're not seeing any more bonks like that.
Especially now going into Blitz. That'd be unfortunate. But would be really good for Viper. Easily could come back, grab the lead if Tama did get any unfortunate bonks.
Oh, misses that rollout there.
No rod, and decides to go a lot safer than usual. Very wise decision in my opinion. Don't want to risk it.
Oh, misses that rollout again there. For some reason, just having trouble with these rollouts.
Maybe a little bit of nerves kicking in, being able to move freely.
Moving left, and it's good. First try. Okay.
Nice.
These elevators now. Oh, okay. The wall kick to start out the elevators.
Why would you even... You have to be really confident that to actually go for that, dude. What? If you fell down or anything, like, you can bonk on these platforms very easily if you do it like that.
It's a really risky move for the elevators, especially in the situation Tama was in where he wasn't exactly on the cycle that he's probably used to, since he had kind of unclean opening movement.
Definitely. But now already in throws, hits his first one, hits his second one, and this might be it. If he grabs Bowser, as Viper does, standing left side, gets it as well, and that's a last.
There it is! Whoa. Tama's first win of the season. GG's and congrats! Very well deserved.
Big congratulations for sure. That I mean, he sort of played out of his mind. That tippy was not bad at all. Wow. Just remember, I had to back it up. But other than that, not too many big mistakes.
Oh, Viper with the first missed throw. Well, shoutouts to Viper too. I mean, for some of the mistakes made in this run, I certainly know I wouldn't have been able to hold it together as well as he has. Rainbow Ride may not have gone quite as desired, but I mean, still very high level gameplay. I really don't know many people that could have done his Lakitu back up like he did.
I've never seen anyone back it up like that either. Like, that was a first. And that should be the last one. Still gonna grab a decent amount of points here. So,
it looks
good
like
stuff. Good stuff for Viper for holding in. Should still be under a minute. Yeah, definitely under a minute.
52 flat.
Gee. What a race. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was very close throughout, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I definitely thought Tama was a little bit done in with HMC, but being able to clutch that back out was just awesome to see. Very exciting race.
I didn't expect Viper to have such a harsh Rainbow Ride like he did, but that definitely helped Tama so much, and he just snagged it right back, the lead. Man, that was a super exciting race, but as this was pre-recorded, we won't have any post-race interviews. I think with that, we are pretty much done for this one. Electrix, thank you so much for commentating this one with me. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, no doubt. I loved every minute of it. Thank you so much for coming into the booth for this one. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got some more Mario action coming up for you. I don't have the schedule in front of me, unfortunately, on that single monitor life again, but...
It is Drogi versus JJ. Probably gonna be a good one as well. These races today have been insane. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one.
See ya. Peace.